Hello. 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 I'm gonna make a video today. It's snowing outside. We've been waiting patiently for the last month and it's finally gotten here. And it's fun. It's fun. We're gonna have fun. First video I thought I would do is making a Moka Pot. The Moka Pot is considered by many to be the stovetop espresso. It has a basket to hold the coffee, the lower side which holds the water. This sits here. Put this on the stovetop, the water heats, comes up through, pushes through the basket of coffee, goes through the screen here, and percolates up through the tube into the holding vessel. It's a pretty simple brew method actually, and not a lot to go wrong other than you need to have your coffee ground proper, number one, and use the proper amount. I have two different Moka Pots and they both behave differently, so it's become a thing of feel. If I overstuff this basket and it's on tight, if it's overstuffed, I tend to get water coming out of the overpressure valve thing here. So I've learned to not pack it in, and that seems to avoid it. However, if I go too coarse of a ground, it just as soon as the water's boiling, it fills the top and it just doesn't, I think it needs more pressure. It needs a little resistance in there to get the proper cup. So if it's taking too long and it tastes a little burnt, or if it's going too fast, you just gotta tweak your grind and maybe the amount you put in there. Like every brew method, you gotta experiment. What tastes good to me may not taste good to you, and vice versa. So I always say to people when they're brewing, trying something new, if you don't like it the first time, don't give up, because there's a lot of ways to do a thing like this. So one of the first things that I would do if you have one of these sitting around is make sure all your parts are clean. I like to take a straw cleaner, or even a Q-tip would work, and get up in there and clean. Make sure your basket's thoroughly clean. Make sure you've gotten all around the rim here clean. And this guy, little filter here, it's not a filter, it's a gasket. And to get the gasket out, I did it so seamlessly last time. It went perfect. I swear it's easy. So just remove the gasket. Mine's looking a little old and haggard, but it should work for a while. Take your screen out. Make sure your screen is clean, and then use your straw cleaner. Get up in that hole there too. That tastes better. And then down in the bottom, if you can see down in there, around the very bottom edge, when this heats up, it's cooking on the stove, that's the first place the coffee that's brewed goes, and it can kind of burn onto the metal. You want to clean that out really well between each one, or else you'll kind of get the taste of burnt coffee that lingers in this pot. So a good thorough clean before you use it, and then every time you use it. This just goes back in here. Your gasket. Gasket's key to this whole process. If you don't have a good gasket, it's not gonna work. Gotta have a grip to it. In the mornings when I'm trying to make one in a hurry, I'll heat water up in here first and just fill it most of the way, it's to about there. Basically the bottom of the basket's what you're shooting for. Put your basket in, and then scoop your coffee. It smells really good, this coffee does right now. It's about a week old. I think week-old coffee is the start of the good stuff. A lot of people are like, oh, it's not fresh, 2 days. 2-day-old coffee is not ready to drink. Not in my opinion anyway. Again, everybody's different. So for me, I like it at least a week old, sometimes 2-3 weeks. And there's nothing wrong with 4, 5, 6 week old coffee. Coffee doesn't go bad. It will lose some of the gases that it gives while it's off-gassing. And I think a lot of people get hooked on that off-gassing flavor. and that's cool, but it's just like the flavor of off-gassing. To really taste the coffee, it's got to sit. And a well-roasted coffee should taste good for several weeks. So anyway, enough on that. So see how I filled it? I've got a little mounded up there, but I'm not tamping it in. Especially with this one over my other one, I found that if I tamp it in, it's too much pressure. So it's full, it's a fine grind. That's good and snug. Now it just goes on full heat, and that's about all there is to brewing that. You can see what I mean. The espresso, when it first comes out, it starts up here, and it slowly drops down in there, and you can see how it could cook down there and really bake in there if you let it. So that's why you want to pull this off the heat as soon as it's done brewing. This to me is like doing the perfect pace right now. Not too fast, not too slow, just right. And this is the sound of the end. If you're in the other room, you hear this sound, it's time to come and get ready to pull it. Alright, so we brewed it. It's filled the house with a wonderful smell. It smells so good. Now, just pour it. Sometimes I'll dilute about 50% with water, but sometimes you just drink it full strength. That's really up to you. So, it's brewed. It's full strength. It's perfect. You should try it. It's like a new fun way to, oh, that looks neat. New fun way to have coffee. And why not have multiple methods? It's coffee. It's a thing you drink every day. At least a lot of us do. For me, lots of times during the day. It's the time I take to sit, evaluate where my day is, where it's going, what else I still have to do, what I've done. Not think about anything at all. It's just fun to have coffee. Always. So, hope you like the Moka Pot. Give it a shot. If you have questions, hit me up. Shoot me an email. I answer most of the emails that come in. info@blackcoffeeroastingco.com, or hit me up at chapman.jim@gmail, and we'll go from there. You have questions about coffee, I probably have answers. So, peace.